to you. Maybe you're not interested in the products. Then it makes it easier for you to get through it quickly. If it is interesting to you, then it's easy for you to zoom in and say, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
So in fact, for both types of audience, that could be really useful. What was the wow? Do you guys remember? What was his wow?
Yeah, at that time I said, why does he need to tell us?
Oh,
He gave this while introducing himself. I'm a sales this thing, and this is what I do, and these are the products, and we are competitors to European products.
Yeah.
That's what he said, and I still remember it. And I was like, why is he telling me that? But if I were the right audience, I would just latch on instantly. But because it was unimportant to me, I was another person on the flight. I let it go. But I could have been his audience.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So for some audiences, that competitor to European products is fantastic. For others, it could be that you just talk about one benefit from one of the products, or that our company's really growing, or we're expanding globally, that's why I'm flying, or you could take it up in a lot of different ways.
But he said he's a salesperson, so obviously he's looking for a larger this thing, right, to sell his products.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's how I read it. I read it together. So.
Yes.
Or just simply highlights what I just said, the key features, right? That would be the wow, I think. Like this product, no one else sells this, and it works very well.
Oh wow, that could be a great wow. Yeah.
That would be a wow.
Yeah. So just keep in mind with this word wow, the content itself or your story or whatever you're trying to get across may not be rocket science, but that's okay. The word wow is intended more to get you into the mindset of just lifting it off a little bit, even just saying that, that this SaaS and MBA is the best thing I've ever done, or that I'm looking forward to the next stage, or that our company is going in this direction. Just a little lift off, okay?
You're entering new business.
Wonderful, entering a new business, exactly. It can be just something like that. And you might have many. You might have 20 different now how wows, depending on your audiences. I have a client who's launching a magnificent new museum. He's a intellectual, an art historian, and an introvert. And he really doesn't like these kind of conversations at all. But because he is the director of this new museum, he really needed to practice on our how wows. And we sat down and worked out what are the things he needs to say. So he identified that he has basically 3 audiences in general. Of course, there are many individuals along the way, but his audiences are, one is government who support him. One is the business community that potential sponsors, and one is his own employees. And he needs to get messages out to those 3. And he sat down and filled in a sheet. By the way, I brought a worksheet in case anyone's interested. And he literally filled in this sheet for the 3 different audiences. Did one for the potential donors, one for government folks, and one for his employees. And they were all very different. Extremely different wording. For his employees, the message was really all about thanking them for all of their contribution and inspiring them toward the launch day. They're going to launch in a couple of months. Of course, with donors, it was much more about the opportunity that it presents for them to get branding and do CSR. And with government, my goodness, a very different message again. So the reason that he very carefully mapped out the 3 of them was because as an introvert and as someone who doesn't love the spotlight, he finds it hard to manufacture on the moment. But then he just went away and learned these 3 really well. And they at least get him rolling in a conversation when he first meets people. It helps a lot. So we're going to give this one a try. So, let's leave that for a second. What I'd like to do first is just pass these around, and those of you who like to prepare with a pen might want to pull one out, or if not, just glancing at the sheet might just remind you of the structure. Can I ask you to pass those around a bit? I'll pass this way too. And we're going to do another round where you use the now, how, well. For the same question, it'll be the same setup. What do you do, or what are you working on? Now, you could also try to imagine a different audience if you like. You don't have to take my cards. If you really want to practice with what you would say if the dean came along, practice that one. Or what you would say if your boss asked you what you're working on right now. You don't have to write this moment, but at least let's just take a couple of minutes of quiet and think. Just think about what you would want to put in here. And then I'll give you a couple of minutes before we do the next role play, okay?
So I pick an audience.
You can, so if you'd like, you can pick an audience now, if that's the one you want to practice against. If not, if you want to stay general, I've still got more cards. We'll hand them out next time. Totally up to you, okay? Because I want this to be... Well, so, yeah, so Andreas, if you've got a particular audience or type of audience that you want to get better at talking to, then ask your partner. We're going to change partners too, by the way, okay? So if we pair you up with Nick, then you ask him to be that audience. Oh, not Nick. Nick has to go, so you can't have him as a partner. Okay, so just take a couple of minutes now and write or think, this is for you, this is not for me. So just take about 20 seconds more, and then we'll take a pause. And if you've already finished writing, you might just have a look at this slide. Just a few reminders on what we're doing here. Okay, let's go to take 2. So now you know the now, how, wow construct. You might have already written something, great, and if not, perhaps you just have it rolling in your head. So think to yourself as you deliver your elevator pitch, I start in the now, a summary statement, a bottom line. I just take a little step back and support it, just a little bit, elaborate. And then I end on a high note, just reaching forward or reaching to the future or giving them a wow. Simple, right? Find a new partner this time, someone you didn't do the exercise with last time. And by the way, you might have noticed this time I'm only giving you 20 seconds.
Am I answering? Are you going to ask me?
I'll change it. There you go.
Okay. Does anyone want a card? Does anyone want a card to pick to make it challenging, or do you all have an audience in mind?
Yeah, okay. Good.
Okay. That's one I gave you. Yeah, that was from the last time. Let me take the top few because we did that last time.
We can do together.
Okay. So folks, 20 seconds. So tell the other person what audience they are. You've decided on the audience rather than practice. You can take a card or you can choose your audience. You want to take a card?
You can choose your audience.
So no, what you're gonna do, I think what should happen is you tell me who you want me to be.
Okay, okay.
No, you want me to be the audience.
You want to start?
All right, everyone's ready? We know what we're doing?
Potential investor, am I a potential client,
So we just
Okay,
take
so-
turns,
am
right?
I your staff?
So you start. Why don't you start?
Then what's the audience?
Now we are the audience.
No, as in like what's the
You have to give your elevator pitch, right?
So like, are you what is your audience?
Would you like us to
Oh,
be?
so you want me to be,
So yeah, you
so
can
I'm a headhunter.
You want us to be investors?
Okay, so, all right, so what do you do?
I'm doing an online restaurant reservation system.
And time's up.
No, we started to.
Okay,
It's okay. Just
now do it again. Same. Do it again. You'll be even better on your second round. Okay, go.
Doing an online restaurant reservation system.
No, start from the beginning.
It's called Hungry Hut. Basically, the problem with restaurants is that they're not open 24 hours. So people try to call at night to make orders. So we get 24 hours. And right now we have 160 restaurants. And we're growing verticals like beauty, salon,
And stop. Okay, so you got 2 tries.
20 seconds.
Now change sides.
did it.
Swap positions. Anyone want to comment?
Okay, 20 seconds. You've got 45 minutes.
Just
Okay, swap
this
sides.
is happening in network.
Anyone? Glad you guys are
My business is
We know what our needs want it to be.
solution in
We're gonna make it tough.
Sure to get enough time.
our own marketing backgrounds and
Okay, are we ready to change sides?
to the international companies who want to invest and open up a business.
So you want me to
Guys,
Okay, go.
contact.
What do you do? What do you do?
Digital marketing system distributed in Thailand. Private service many providers. Their smartphone app.
I think I will
And stop. Okay, take two. Do it again. Everybody, you heard me, do it again.
Beginning. What do you do?
my business is
Working in digital marketing company, and we help many clients
online services. We have marketing and attorney
interest or have apps from
help your business set up a firm. So
get to number one.
And time's up.
Wow. Let's start.
Okay.
Be specific.
Time's up. 2 times each. Are we better?
Yes.
You have one more? Okay. All right.
My name is
Go.
Pia.
Okay, everyone else give feedback. This team's doing another round.
Prospective business partners. Hi, my name is Vibha, and I do Indian. I sell Indian food, and I specialize in selling food in various malls. I have a few outlets in Central Chidlong,
And stop.
and several places. I'm looking to expand.
Okay.
Very
Sir said the person who just went needs another take 2, yeah? Do it again.
That's okay. I don't have to.
Okay, now,
Mine was already
what's the
social.
marketing strategy?
And stop. Okay. Did everyone get 2 takes then? You did? So you want one more?
Yes.
Okay, 20 seconds again. The rest of you finish feedback, and then we'll talk.
Hi, my name is Vibha, and I have a business selling food outlets, and I have a couple of places in places like Central Chitwan, and in fact I have in 7 or 8 different locations. And I'm very open to the idea of expanding my business.
And stop. Okay.
If you don't want to speak fast, if you want to speak slowly, you have to choose your words.
Let's sit back now for a moment.
Keywords.
Usually in your mind, you have to and expand at the same time. Like the one sentence.
So I don't have time for that.
7 locations.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how did the structure help you? Did it help? Yeah? Tell me. Kathy, please.
I tell you about what.
Tell me, what worked? Yeah, what worked?
I like the idea behind the wow. It makes me, I would say, rearranging the message to leave it such that the guy wants more. Or wow, it's interesting. I want more, you know, or something like that. I think that's very interesting.
Excellent.
I have to explain my why. And then my how. Wow.
You have to explain it. Oh dear.
Why is that the wow?
Okay, well that's the point of being in this room. Try it out.
There's also a bit of a weakness in that it's very easy to get into a situation where all of what you really want to say is in that law sentence, so you don't get to it.
Yeah, you run out of time. Yeah, that's a very good point. You don't want to pack everything into your wow. Really, your now statement should be so strong that the person says, oh, really? Or, huh? Or tell me more, so that it drives your how and your wow. They're really asking for it. So I really do assume that the now would get my message across if I were cut off. If they stop time right away, if my brother decided he'd landed the plane for me, that at least I'd get it out as a now. You know, as human beings, we often tend to do a lot of build-up. So you ask someone something like, how was your weekend? And the person says, oh, well, you know, I really wanted to go cycling, but, you know, it rained on Saturday morning, and we build up, and then finally I went on the roller coaster. But, you know, if you do it the other way around and you give your now as a summary message right away and say, great weekend, I went on the roller coaster. Then the person probably asks something about, oh, really? When or how or what, you know, they want to hear more. So hit them with that summary really quickly. Another way to think of it is sending a text message or sending a tweet. That now is very short.
I think that now, the fact that it has to be very short and concise, it can be generic. But when you get down to the how, sometimes we, you know, like what he was trying to do, it become very focused. And then the other party may no longer have the interest.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
when he was talking about his now was he's helping people raise funds. But then we get to the how, he's talking about the small startup type of company. Then it's no longer, I'm not the startup, I'm not the small. See that?
But you're not going to appeal to everybody.
You can't, it's not possible. That's right. Yeah.
I mean, one of the things, an elevator pitch is good, but one of the things they say that when you go out networking, it's better to meet 2 or 3 people really well than to meet 100, you know, meet 30 people maybe. So that when you get back to your office, you do know who people are.
Yeah.
It's not just the card that you picked up from somebody. So
Yeah.
you are going to meet people that have absolutely no interest. And then the benefit of the elevator pitch is that you move on to the next
You
one.
get it over with quickly, that's right. So really, if you now realize that this is not someone who's interested in your venture, you've only invested 20 seconds. So, fair point. Sometimes people get into the how and I realize it's really not my category at all. But if they're using the structure well, then yeah, it's very efficient. I'm not stuck in a 20-minute talk about
Well,
it.
you can think in terms of, okay, you may not be interested, but you may know someone down the road that may be interested.
Yeah, very true. Yes, yeah.
But I think for us it happened the opposite actually. I was really wanting to hear the wow because I got the clear message, or I understood the concept at the beginning. And then I think, yeah, knowing your audience in this case would be the best way to deliver the best message, right? Because if you knew that you could not be interested, then you could have elaborated more on the now. But because I was interested right away, you could have gone to the wow faster.
So
we never had time.
Yeah. So that's an important thing you're raising that I want to emphasize. We drew this with the now and the wow having the same size box and the how being slightly larger, but not a lot of difference in them. In fact, depending on your audience and what's happening, you can adjust the size of these quite a lot. So maybe you've got an audience that doesn't need any of the how. You kind of skip over that and go straight to the wow, or a tiny bit of how. Maybe one proof point to make the person believe it, and you go straight to the wow. Others you may need a lot. So this structure we use a lot for instant speeches, for example. So imagine the client of mine was opening a new building. And so he gave several speeches in the course of one day, and I'll give you just two examples. So one was to business community members who came to see the new building, where his now had quite a lot of hard facts about how this is the most eco-friendly, intelligent building with X other, several words just in his now statement about it being the greatest building in the world. His how was pretty brief, and his wow was brief but a very strong message about what this building will mean for the community. With the employees, his summary statement was extremely short because they know it all already. They know what this building is about. His how was the long one because he was standing there launching this building, and he went into a lot of detail in his how, thanking them for all the work they've done, congratulating the teams who worked so hard to make this possible. And then his wow in that case was about all of us working more productively together to grow this company to the next level. So very nice variance on the width. Very as appropriate. Now, on that note, I'm going to move to some other, I'm going to jump over this for now. I'll give all of you the copy of this deck if you'd like, but those were tips from another expert, and frankly, what we've discussed here has reinforced a lot of that already. So I'd like to offer you a few more possibilities to think of. This is the same structure that you can use in so many different ways. You get invited into a meeting to give an update. Try your now, how, wow summary. Now statement on update on the project, how, some of the key things that have happened lately, and wow, where's it going next? What's the next stage?
I do that in every email.
You're using this structure in every email. You do. It's fantastic for email. We all hate those emails that wander and we're not quite sure what they mean. Give them the now statement straight up in the very beginning. We need to realign manpower next month. Some of the bullet points under it as to why, and then your wow statement might just be something like, and this will make us more efficient. Use it as the opening statement for a conference call. We all hate conference calls, right? And it's your turn and you get called upon, or you're the one leading off the call. Do it in a now, how, wow setup. Now, let me give you a really simple example, and this will be such a small wow you won't believe it's a wow. But if you were to open up a conference call and just say, we've got people from all around the world on this call today to decide on a new policy for human resources. Your how goes into a bit of the background. We need a new policy because such and such is no longer relevant. The market has changed. Our employees are changing, whatever. Your wow for that might simply be, and I trust that over the course of the next hour, we'll come up with some excellent ideas to take forward. Just a bit of a wow, just a lift. Use it for the instant speech, as I mentioned a moment ago. And when I say instant, I mean many of you probably have this where you're dining with clients and suddenly over dinner they say, oh, would you like to say a few words? What do? The instant speech could be someone's birthday in the office. And we're all gathered around with a cake and you suddenly realize it falls to you to say something. Fantastic structure for a birthday message. We're all here to congratulate Gigi on her birthday and wish her all the best. What do you think your how is then? A little bit of background about Gigi working for us, how long she's been with us, or what she's contributed to the company, or how terrific she is. And what do you think your wow is on a speech like that?
Keep it work harder.
Keep her working hard, absolutely. Keep working her hard. Or maybe just wishing Gigi many, many, many happy birthdays after this one. Okay? It's also good for your not-so-instant speech, by which I mean if you have time to prepare, it's the same structure you can use to prepare your thoughts. Corridor conversations, which are very much like elevator pitches. The person bumps into you and asks, what's the latest? How's that project going? How are things? Fantastic structure for that. So as a final Exhibit C, I thought I'd play you a little comical one. Interestingly, this was created by a rather staid and serious multinational known as General Electric. But you probably won't believe that when you watch this, this little video. So
oh, hi. Did you know huge can be small? What? That's crazy talk! Or is it genius talk? Meet the world's hugest gas turbine! Which also happens to be the world's most fuel-efficient turbine. That's right, this bad boy can power the equivalent of 400,000 US homes per year. Huge benefits using a smaller amount of fuel than before. So smaller is huger. Hey, you sure you're on the right floor? Because up might equal down now. Huh? Huh? Huh?
okay. So she was using it now, how well, by the way. She may not know our structure, but that's what they were doing. And I find it rather amusing that a very, serious conservative company like that is creating these amusing videos about rather, business-to-business topics to try to encourage their own people to get good at this skill. So I have just one question for all of you. How are you going to use this? How many different ways can you apply this in the next few days? That's the only way that something like this sticks. You need to use it right away. Can you go home tonight and give a now how wow to your spouse about what you were doing? It's a pretty simple one, right? Your now is a statement of what this little talk was, your how might tell a little bit about it, and your wow is about how you're going to use it. Are you going to come in tomorrow morning and give a now how wow as an update to the team? Or in a conversation with a client? Yes, Andreas?
My first thought is how to initiate this conversation.
You really want to do it in the elevator, huh?
Hi there.
I thought you told me earlier you were shy.
No,
Somebody
actually,
tell-
that's a good question, right? How you gather enough courage, right, to reach out to someone,
Yeah? How? Come on, someone's got the answer in the room.
And how do I get to start without being exhilarated?
Peter might be the bar and be drunk,
Half a dozen beers could do it. The elevator really is a metaphor. But in those moments, like this evening when we met each other, like the initial moments when you sit down to an event and maybe you don't know any other attendees, like a dinner party or another social occasion, a barbecue, you walk in and you're introduced to someone. Your know how wow in that moment might not be about what you do for a living. It might be about some other aspect of you. Have you got a different calling card for different settings maybe? We don't want to know that one. Yes.
I just want to say something. I think for the elevator, I think it's possible, and the best way to engage people I've learned from experience is to ask them about themselves. So if you're in the elevator, maybe you can ask like, oh, are you here for a doctor's appointment? I don't know where you are, right? And then they will say like, oh no, and then you turn it around and you start talking about yourself. But the moment to engage the person is to ask them about themselves first.
And, well,
What about you? Did the guy respond by staring at you and didn't say anything? What do you do?
Yeah, there's a lost case.
but the principle that you're outlining, whether it's in the elevator or anywhere else, is such a valuable one. There's a quote that says, talk to a man about himself and he will listen for hours.
What about the women?
People like to talk about themselves. Asking a question is a great way to get a person engaged. Now, folks, I'm conscious that we've already hit 8 o'clock, and I think there's even some food out there, and we should have ended earlier, so I apologize for that part. But I would love to see you go out and practice your now, how, wows there. Please remember the order matters too. Now first, how supports it, wow is your ending. I've got extra worksheets here in case anybody wants to do a little scribbling before they go home. Can I just share the PDF with you and you share it with the attendees? Yeah, great, okay. And I'd be delighted to hear from any of you on email about how it's working for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.